Sauce.
Hey, you like Pez?
It looks like that. Here's Heaney from the boundary line. He's an expert at these. From the boundary line!
Hello and welcome to Behind the Boundary Podcast. I'm your host Pez. I'm here with Sauce, and today in this episode of Behind the Boundary Podcast, we're here to talk about our competition of footy. A little bit different to normal footy tipping, Sauce. It's called the Behind the Boundary Loser Competition.
Hey guys, that's right, Pez, and no need for a countdown, Pez. I know it's under 1 week away. It literally Thursday night footy is up and about next week. Carlton versus Richmond, or Richmond versus Carlton, Richmond's home game. But you are right, it is tipping with a twist, and we put up on our social media feeds. Make sure you jump on them and have a look. And I think there's a little bit of confusion out there, Pez, because so many people are thinking they're going to make just back your mates all year long and just pick North to lose.
Oh, that'd be easy money, wouldn't it? But the twist in this competition is, yes, you're picking someone to lose, but you can't pick them twice in a row. So you pick that team, you pick North for round one, you'll make it to round two, but then you can't pick them again. Yeah,
it's not twice in a row, Pez. It's like once you pick the team, it's process of elimination. You've got 18 teams to work your way through. I think the furthest we've ever got, because everyone asks the question is like, hey, Pez, Sauce, what happens if I get through all 18 teams? We're like,
this is easy.
Last year went to round 6. Year before went to round 7. Year before that, I think actually we did pretty far. We went to round 10.
Yep. so it always happens.
We haven't even got through 11 teams most weeks, most years.
Exactly right. Now, usually we get a life, so you get actually 2 chances. So if you get one wrong, you get to stay in the competition until you get 2 wrong and then you're out. Last year, COVID related, we had to scrap that. So it was just one tip wrong, you're out. So that's why it only lasted to 6 rounds. And round 2,
we didn't know if the AFL had a life or not. If we thought 1 week one was gone and then it was gone forever. So
looking at round 2, Sauce, from last year's results, North and Gold Coast, plenty of people tipped them. About half the competition went out because North and Gold Coast actually had to win that round.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's such a strategic comp, Pez, because every year you and I sit down and we talk about our strategy, because we've always said that if we ever take it out, we're putting it back into the show and all that, and we're always out like round 3. But every year you speak to the people. Last year we had King Cole. He won it. He took it out. The year before we had I can't remember what he had his name as. We had a good fan of the show. Shame he's an Essendon supporter, Paulie. And both of them had completely different strategies. It's a really tough comp because not only have you got to look at, okay, well, the first couple of weeks, I'll get rid of the bottom 4. But then after that,
where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go? You want to try and keep, I play it so that you want to try and keep some of those teams down the bottom, and you want to keep them in reserve. And you play a little bit risky.
One of my mates plays it. risky as.
He gets talked into it every time.
That year GWS were killing it. He had got rid of them. He got rid of like Geelong. 3 or 4 top teams. And then the showdown was coming, Adelaide versus Port Adelaide, when Adelaide weren't where they are now. Yeah. And I convinced him to go against the tip I thought was going to lose, so he lost a life at least. So
he went out in straight sets. He went up to like round 6, had gotten through like the top 4 teams.
Only one with 2 lives.
Hadn't used the 2 bottom teams, and he was out in straight sets. It's a great comp, Pez. I love it because it's a little bit... I know every week you're trying to pick one winner, and if I said to you, hey, let's reverse the comp. Let's only pick one winner a week and you can't pick the same thing twice. It's a lot easier to do that because that's the way you've always tipped. Now I'm telling you, hey, Pez, same concept. Only pick one team per week to lose. And you overthink it. You get in your own head.
You have to. You look at the draw. You try and go ahead. You can't go too far ahead in this comp.
Round 6.
Some people have try to get the bottom teams out. They still go out. Some people tried to get the top teams out, go out. Like... It's sometimes a bit lucky in certain cases, but the terms and conditions are there. The jot form's there at Behind the Bound on Twitter, Instagram, and Behind the Boundary Podcast on Facebook. Make sure you get in and jump on board. If you're a listener of this show and a regular listener, as we see on our data, and you haven't jumped on, jump on. And it's a $20 entry, a one-off. If you're out after round 3, we won't have to hear from you again until the next season. So that's good for some people. You know how some people give up on footy tipping after round 8 and they can't win anymore. This one, if you're still in it, you've got a chance to win it.
Yeah, you're still in it. Exactly right, Pez. And last year we had a nice hefty prize of $800. The best thing about this is there's no second place. Last man standing or last person standing, last tipster standing, which was a little controversial a couple of years ago, but it's the last person standing, winner takes all. And last year, as I said, over $800 was the prize money. We're going to get past that this year, Pez. We're pushing close.
Yeah, we're
to that
getting
$1,000 mark.
Definitely getting past that. You know, final week. That's when people start to go. You sit there, Sauce. You got 3 weeks to go to a footy. You go, oh yeah, I've got all my tipping to sign up with. I'll do that later. 2 weeks to go. Yeah, I'll do that later. 1 week to go. People are starting to look at it. It gets to Monday at work. You're going to work. You're like, there's Thursday night footy this week.
Oh, 4 days.
Shit, I've got to get home and do all my footy tipping and get in and join the loser comp and do all of that. So there's no profit to us or anything.
No.
Every single cent that goes in will go to the last person standing.
Winner takes all. And just because you're not a listener, you know, if you've got some friends who are interested in tipping, we've seen lots of people tag all their mates in Facebook going, hey, you're really good at picking losers. You'd love this. Just because you don't listen to the show, you're probably not going to hear this, but tell your mates to jump on, support a great cause. You know, we're really trying to build. And as Pez said, we don't do it for any profit. We do it for the love of the competition, love an AFL footy, and most of all, a little bit of banter in that group message.
The absolute banter. So if you do join, and when you go to the register form, you can just link your Facebook, and you'll be joined into the Facebook Messenger group, which is the 2021 Behind the Boundary Loser Competition. And the banter that was going in there last year, when the games were on and the games were tight, and in round one, you've got people that one's picked this team, one's picked the other team. So at least one person's out. All your mates are Messenger like, hey, one person's out. How good's that? We're still going. So lots of excitement, lots of things to go by. Make sure you sign up, join us. If you haven't already, follow us on socials at Behind the Boundary on Facebook, and get around it.
Get around it, most definitely. Just a little bit of an anecdote from that I heard last year after I think it was about round 3 or 4. This person got knocked out, and they sent us a bit of a message saying, can I tell you, it was the first time I joined it. I had the best time in the loser comp. I've been a part of like 7 or 8 different tipping comps. I love tipping. I always take them out. And I never put so much thought into picking one loser every week. Literally he's like, I got in my own head, and he goes, but it was so much fun and a great way to analyse football that I'd never thought before. So even if you think that, you know what, I don't want to try and pick losers. It's a great way to look at it, and it's a great competition. And as Pez said, winner takes all. Why wouldn't you?
You should have seen my mate a couple of years ago. He jumps on board and goes, this is going to be easy. I'm going to win it. He was out in round 3, and remember what he did? He left the group. He was so angry he left the group, and then he's asking me what's going on. I said, mate, you left the group. Bad luck.
Crack the sads. Actually, I think we had a bit of a pot dig at him one time on the podcast. And next time I saw him, he's like, hey, got a bone to pick with you.
What are you doing there? So lots of banner, lots of things. Make sure you get involved. Behind the Boundary 2021 Loser Competition. I've been Pez. Peace out.
I'm still Sauce. We'll catch up next time, guys. And as Pez said, if you haven't already, make sure you join up and get on board. Hey, try not to be a bigger loser than Pez.
No, no!